Yeah. Global Faith Ministries of Chiism. It says, I'm live. I'm live right now. Live video. Event logs, 2 people. It's live. So it's live. It's live. It's live. We're live right now. Uh, Kelly, because it's showing that I'm live. It's showing that I'm live. I've been live for 1 minute. I can see myself. Let me see if I invite you. Okay, I've invited you. Can you see me now? Ask your son. I invited him. I'm inviting all these people. All the people who said that they were going to come. I'm inviting everyone. It's showing that that you've been invited. It's live on my face. Oh my goodness. I don't know why you're not says I'm live. Stream health pose. That's the problem. It's not showing me anyone. I've invited everyone. It says live. Cosmos Ojuku has joined. Hi Cosmos, how are you? We're having a little difficulty here with Facebook. This is my first time of doing this, so it's a bit challenging. But I think I've corrected it. But I'm glad that you've joined us. Um, I invited several individuals, and hopefully they'll join us. But I'm going to go ahead and start my discussion today. Um, Let me start by greeting you all. Ndewo. Ndewo is an Igbo Nigerian word that means greetings, but it has a deeper meaning, and that is long life to all of you. Make myself a little bit more so you can see me some more. There you go. Ndewo is an Igbo Nigerian word, and many of us really just know it as greetings, but it means long life to all of you, and that is what I pray for each and every one of you gathered today underneath the sound of my voice. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for welcoming me into your space. I realize all of us are asked to stay at home, and I do hope that every one of us is taking advantage of this opportunity to be home. Certainly not under these circumstances. I'm not sure any one of us is excited about having to stay home because of coronavirus. But nonetheless, here we are. This is where we find ourselves. We're home. Let me introduce myself to you. I am Oke Dibia, Dr. Uwa Osimiri. I am the senior spiritual teacher of Chiism International. Before I get started talking about anything, it's imperative that we do what we do at home. Now, what I do usually every day when I get up is to pour libations, to honor my ancestors. And it's a habit we must all get into doing. To honor your ancestors means recognizing who you are and certainly giving thanks to the Creator. It's to acknowledge the power within and encourage that power within to come forward to continue to bless you. That is what an affirmation is. Most of us get started, get our bags, get our luggages, or whatever it is we need, and we go out there. And we think somehow everything will work for us. No, you have got to affirm your day. And to affirm your day, you've got to give thanks to the Creator for this wonderful opportunity that we call today. So I'm going to start by giving my affirmation. And I share that with you. And whatever applies to me, I pray that it applies to you as well. And I hope that you receive it as I've given it to you. I thank Chineke, Divine Mother, Divine Father, for this wonderful opportunity that we call today. You see, there are so many people who did not see this day. We are the lucky few. I'd like to thank God the Father, God the Mother, God of the universe for this wonderful day. There are many people, many spirits looking for a body, and here we are. Is that good? God is power. I am powerful. God is love. I am loving. God is peace. I am peace-filled. God is joy. I am joyful. God is truth. Chineke is truth. I am wrapped in his truth. I am a manifestation of the divine. Greater is this power of Chineke in my body than any condition in the world. Greater is this power in my mind than any condition in the world, any affliction in the world, and greater is the spirit in my spirit than any spirit in the world. The spirit of Chineke renews, reaffirms, reassures all that I am. All that I am, Chineke is. All that is noble, I am. This is the truth that I claim this day as my divine inheritance. And I hope for the same for you. I hope for the same for you. I hope that Chineke heard my affirmation. I hope that the ancestors embrace my affirmation. And I hope that you embrace it as well. I had made some notes. Some people contacted me and wanted to ask some questions. And one of the questions I'm asked all the time is, what is Chiism? What is Chiism? Or Gordianism? An ism is a philosophy. Ism is philosophy. And Chiism is the philosophy of hanging spirituality directly on Chineke without passing through any medium. And that's to say, right where I am, Chineke is. Eba no, Chineke no ya. Muna chiso, I walk with my God. Wherever I may be, God is with me. Chineke is with me. Now, people call Chineke different names based on what strengths and power they ascribe to Chineke. To some, Chineke is love. Olodumare, Tamona, Jinyami, Katonda, Nyemi, Nkosi, Mwari, Uvuzilele, Ukulunkulu, Ubangiji. In English, God. But we call our God Chineke. And who founded, and I'll explain the Chineke in a little bit. Who founded Chiism? Who founded Chiism? His Holiness Obaja K.O.K. Onyoha, who has since joined the ancestors, was the founder of Chiism. In those days, in the 50s, when Nigeria was fighting for independence, when Nigeria was fighting for independence, several individuals came together understanding that it's going to take much more than just our physical independence to make us whole. Because we have been put in a hole for many, many years. Even if we got our independence, if we don't have mental independence, we will continue to be colonized. His Holiness Ahan K.O.K. Onyoha, Oba Akenzua of Benin, Oba Akenzua II, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, they fought for the spiritual emancipation of the people, because just being physically emancipated is not enough. Because if you don't have because the most powerful tool in the hands of somebody who doesn't mean you well, the most powerful tool in the hands of an oppressor is your mind. And if your mind is in chains, you really don't have any freedom. So they came together and formed and propagated Gordianism. Gordianism being hanging your spirituality on God, which was the system of God worship of the African back then. The reason why we're calling it Chiism is because many religions of the world call their religion based on their cultural terminology for God. So even though it's Godianism, we as Igbos, we call Chiism, the philosophy of hanging religion on Chineke. So somebody wanted to know, so why do we call it Chineke? Why do we call God Chineke? You see, one of the things that we don't know, many of us think Chineke means the creator. Not necessarily. I had the opportunity, and I thank God I thank my Chineke every single day because of the parents that I had. Because my parents taught me to be proud of who I am and to subscribe to the notion that we are as good as anyone else and our God is as good as anyone else. My dad introduced me to two elders from Umahia. They were well over 90 years old. And my dad said, I want you to hear what Chineke is. When you keep saying Chineke, Chineke, he wanted me to hear what it is. He said that Chineke means the duality of the creator. Chi na eke. Chi na eke. It takes male and female energies to create life. The male energy is chi, and the female energy is eke. And that's why you have chi na eke, and we coin it together and call it Chineke. But most of us think Chineke is the creator. That's just all it means. No, it's deeper than that. That's why when we refer to the creator, we say Chineke. Chineke. I think somebody wrote me something here. The male and the female energy. And then somebody asked me, what is the purpose of Chineke? Or Chiism. What is Chiism trying to accomplish? What are we trying to accomplish that everyone else has not accomplished? First of all, let me start by saying that we value all humanity. Everybody is important. And that is why we honor the male and we honor the female. We do not ascribe the sins of man on women. Every man has something to offer to the whole, and every woman has something to offer to the whole. And if we respect that, we create harmony and peace. We don't subjugate anybody as to a lesser position in life. What are we trying to achieve? This is so important. You know, I had an individual who posted something, and I made this very clear. It is imperative that we understand that this forum is designed for us to begin the process of having a conversation on how to change our lives as African people. And we welcome everybody else to join us. But we, as Africans, it's time that we have a conversation with ourselves. So when somebody contacts me and says that we are trying to encourage them to join a cult, I have to ask this question, and which is something that Chiism is trying to overcome for our people. What makes you a cult if your objective is for the betterment of your community? What makes you a cult if your objective is for the betterment of the individual members of the community? What makes you a cult if what you're trying to do is to encourage your community to understand that they have what they need to move themselves from the position of lack to the position of strength? Is that cultism? Is that what makes you a cult? And if I advise this individual, I welcome questions. But if you start using words that don't encourage, words that diminish, at that point, I'll encourage you to leave. And I did. I removed that post. We don't have to listen to that. That's not what we're here for. We're here for the empowerment of our minds. So what is it we're trying to achieve? I wrote that down. The reawakening, a spiritual reconciliation so that our personal and collective chaos will end. Our world is in chaos. And I'm not just talking about Africa. Most African communities are in chaos. We are living in what I call the trust and obey culture and the pleasure after death culture. You cannot better your community if you're focused on listening to what others say and obeying. Where do you come in? What do you bring to the table? There's an Igbo proverb that says, when you wash your hands, when you show that you are prepared, you can dine with the elders. If you're trusting and obeying and waiting to die before you can see God's blessings, you're not ready. We are not ready as a people. We are living in the culture of trust and obey. We're living in the culture of death before pleasure. How did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get to this position? First of all, Africans are known for their kindness. We're very kind people. And for the most part, when people venture into our space, we let them in. Because we say, Madubuchi Beya, we are God to each other. And unfortunately, people misunderstood that as a weakness. We got here because we stopped unifying as a people. Our unity is in tatters. It used to be in the past that I could move from Igbo land and go to Yoruba land, from Yoruba land to Hausa land, from Hausa land to Ghana, from Ghana to Uganda. I could go anywhere in Africa. But now we don't do that anymore. There is no unity. It's now me, myself, and I. And worse yet, we can even be from the same tribe and still fight over which village we're from. I was talking about the fact that we needed to help others. And somebody says, well, you have to start from your village. And I'm trying to help people from my tribe. But I have to split it up to my own village. One hungry boy is one too many. One hungry woman is one too many. One hungry and displaced man is one too many. It doesn't matter to me where they're from. Unity demands that we band together to help one another. Without unity, and we don't have it, God knows we don't have unity. There is no unity in Nigeria. There's truly no unity in any African culture. But I tell you, unfortunately, in the past, we did have some unity. We could interact with each other. We could go from place to place. We did all of that. But all of a sudden, we don't do that. Unity, our unity is in tatters. That's one of the reasons why we're here. Self-determination. We don't create anything anymore. What have we done? We're now depending on others to build us up. We're depending on others to build us up. And whatever everyone else is doing, that's what we want to do. We don't even take into consideration, does it fit? Does it fit our community? Does it fit who we are? But we just do whatever somebody else does. No more do we have self-determination. We've lost our courage. We've lost our courage. When you lose your courage, you don't believe anymore. See, Chineke is in us. The day that you were born, the power and energy, the male energy and the female energy came out from your mother's womb. That power came out to work with you. Mona Chiiso, I am one with my God. But we don't do that anymore. We have taken God away from us, Chineke from us, and we put him, he's either in a book, or he's in the sky, or he's somewhere. That very power, Monachiso, that very power that we're supposed to walk with, we don't do that anymore. We have become a weakened people where we are in a state of weakness. The drum is beating in the background, asking us to wake up, and we're not listening. We've got our backs turned. We're not paying attention. The drums are beating in the background and we are not paying attention. We are in a Serengeti fighting with people who are determined to survive. And somehow we want them to help us survive. If onye na chop off, for what you seek, so shall you find. If you want to be survived, if you want to survive, you've got to be serious about survival. You've got to find your courage. We've lost our courage. Let me tell you the story about Okojubo. Okojubo was an ugly man. I hate to use that word because it's derogatory, but nonetheless, it's telling the truth. Okojubo was a man in our village who was really not good to look at. He was quite ugly. And people teased him because he looked different. And which is what we always do. When somebody looks different from us, we think we have the right to tease them. We think we have the right to make them feel bad. Okojubo one day told those that teased him that what we need to understand is it takes courage to be him. It takes courage to be him. Because he understands that if you're not good in one thing, you're good in another. It takes courage to have self-determination, to define yourself. If you are taller, he says, if you're taller than me, I'm shorter than you are. If you're fatter than me, I'm thinner. If you're more beautiful than I am, I'm uglier. If you're richer than I am, I'm poorer. What he's trying to say is you cannot be better than me in every way. People cannot be better than us in every way. We are good at something. It's imperative that we begin to search that self-determination. What are we good in? And capitalize on that and stop giving our power away. And that's what we do. We give our power away. Collectively, if you're not in touch with your spirit, if you're not in touch with your culture, you don't understand collective work, doing things collectively, creating collectively. We've gotten into this business, this Eurocentric business of me, myself, and I. No collective work. That's why you go nje na Nigeria. When I go, I see trash everywhere. Onye kai neche, who are we waiting for? We are that we are seeking for, that we're looking for. It is up to us, nobody else. Nobody can come from overseas and pick up a broom, sweep around your place. In the olden days, in the villages, people would dance and sing and clean and support each other. All of that. We use proverbs to teach. But we don't do that anymore. Now all that we do is see where manna will come. Who's going to help us? We blame everybody but ourselves. We blame the government. We blame white folks. We blame Chinese. We blame everything. You can't blame anybody for what you allow to happen to you. If onye na chokofo, what you seek, so shall you find. The question is, what is it you're seeking? What do you want? It is our responsibility collectively. Look at what's going on. Because of the COVID, our people are starving to death. I'm going to share with you some videos that we interviewed some people in Abia State. They're hungry. Why is it that the Red Cross can get our money, but we can't find an African organization to give our money? Why is it that Purple Heart will get your money, but we can't find an African to give money? Is it that we don't think that we Africans love our people? We don't believe in collective work? See, when you don't understand that the spirit of Chineke is in you, that's when you turn your back on your fellow African, on your fellow human being. If you believe that Chineke is there, then you know that they too have Chineke. And if you want to serve Chineke, you serve your fellow human being. And as a people, you work collectively to be useful, to be helpful. We don't buy from each other. We don't engage in cooperative economics. What is Iswahia? If I buy from you, you buy from me. That is all part of us engaging our spirit. Chineke wants us to be successful, to work it with each other. Chineke doesn't want us to be on our knees begging every doggone day. I remember going to Nigeria. See, I carry my spirituality with me. When I go to Nigeria, I can buy, I live in America. I can buy American goods right here in America. But when I go to Nigeria, I want to buy Nigerian goods. When I go to Ghana, I want to buy Ghanaian goods. I remember going to a store and I asked the man to show me some slippers. Nyem slippers. I show me some slippers in US. You say, okay. From England. And he was bragging about it. And I'm sure they're good. You know, they're good shoes. I don't doubt that. Go to England. So thank God from America. Nkasi na China. Nkasi da Italy. Nkasi Las Palmas. Nkasi kwa. You say, okay, all right, that sounds good. I'm glad you got all of that. Now go and show me the ones that are done by Africans. In Nigeria, which ones are done made in Aba? Get me those. Madam, how you want to buy that kind of thing now? You, where the America, you don't come buy this kind of stuff. I see, that's a mistake. It is my responsibility to buy from here. If I buy from you, I help you rise. When we go to Nigeria, we go to Ghana, wherever we go, we must buy, spend our money with our people. That's how they rise. You help your people by supporting what they're doing. It's why here together. We stop doing that. But it's your spirit. If your spirit is powerful, if you're not thinking about where you're going to go when you die, if you're thinking about cooperative economics, helping each other, that's how Chineke works. No manna comes from heaven. Nothing comes from anywhere but through your fellow human being. That's where you get. Anything you want comes from another human being. Anything you want comes from another human being. We need to get in the practice of seeing the wisdom in helping our own people. I don't care what anybody else is doing in their country. I'm concerned about what we're doing in ours. How do we help our own people? Our elders. This part, I want to talk to my elders. Purpose. There's an African proverb that says, Akbasa atufu ariyeji abo kananya. Akbasa, let me repeat it in case you didn't hear it. Akbasa atufu ariyeji abo kananya. When you own something and you throw it away, you will never get rich. This is what our elders have done to our young people. We've left them nothing. Scorched earth attitude. Give it away. Wherever they come from, we give them. They don't even have to ask for it. We're so good at it that they will take it from us, come back, sell it back to us, and we think we got something new. And yet we keep saying, why is God not working for us? You haven't made any plans so that God will really come out. So that Chineke will come out and say, let me help. You have not prepared for tomorrow. Our children are not prepared. Our children are sent to schools where they learn nothing about themselves. Many of the schools don't teach them anything. But we're so proud to send them to all the Ivy Leagues, while our own schools are dying. The drum is beating in the background. It's getting closer, but we're still not paying attention. Look at what has happened recently. The oil in Nigeria has gone kaput. It is the mentality of our people that don't understand that we have a purpose. Our leaders don't understand what the purpose is. And our leaders are our elders. They don't understand that for Nigeria to continue to move forward, they must help the young people prepare for tomorrow. Oil has gone bust. And as soon as oil has gone bust, what do we have? We haven't built anything. We haven't provided our children with anything. No opportunities. All we have, quite frankly, are all these, I was watching a video a few days ago, and that individual was very right. What we have for our children are a lot of churches, a lot of mosques. We didn't invest in education. We didn't invest in technology. We're not investing in things that would help our children move forward. They are the future. Many of us do not even value our language. That's one thing that Chineke gave us, our language. That's how we are supposed to be able to communicate with each other. If you want to serve Chineke, you have to embrace everything that you're given. Everything. Everything that makes you who you are, you've got to embrace it. There's no more room for foolishness. There's no more room for foolishness. We have failed our children. I was in Nigeria the other day, and I'm watching a man, listen, my brothers, let's understand something. You are in charge of our children. What they believe about who they are comes from you, what you do. This man, a Nigerian man who's supposed to head his family, had all his girls lined up, buying white dolls, blonde, blue-eyed. Why is that what they need to have? Because they'll have white babies in the future? What is wrong with them having black dolls? The man said, and it hurt my soul to hear him say, he said, Madam, there are no black dolls. This is all we have. I said, don't cry me a river. Demand it. The only reason why this is all they're showing you is because that's what you're buying. You're buying it. The most powerful tool in the hands of an oppressor is the mind. And you are corrupting the mind of your children. Come on now. I'm going to tell the truth here. You can't talk about what other people are doing if you allow it to be done. The purpose of us as parents is to guide our children through the power of the Holy Spirit of Chineke and teach them you are good enough. Give them their courage. That is our purpose as elders. Oh, but we have failed them. The drum keeps coming closer, and we're not paying attention. Now, because of our lack, and I'm talking to the elders, because we have not spent time, because we got our children on their knees praying for manna from heaven, the Chinese are taking over Africa. But you know what? I don't blame the Chinese. You can't complain what they're doing to you when you allow it. We did the same thing when the Europeans came and took our people and enslaved them. We're doing it again. The new colonization is coming up. And now it's the Chinese. They're doing it because you're letting them. They're doing it because you're giving everything away. They're doing it because you don't have the confidence. And you haven't trained your children to fight. When I say fight, I don't mean pick up guns. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say fight, I mean for them to know that they are responsible for the future of the continent of Africa. You haven't done that. You've got them on their knees waiting for manna from heaven. The drum is beating, ladies and gentlemen, elders. It's time for you to listen. COVID-19 is not a joke. Because we're not prepared, because we're not looking to ourselves and looking at our young children and teaching them that they too can solve Africa's problems. They're going to become the victims, not the victors. We're looking to China. We're looking to America. We're looking to England. We're looking to everybody to find the cure that ails us. And yet, Africans are the greatest engineers, the greatest doctors and nurses all over the world. Brain drain. We don't have them in Africa. Oh, but we have them all over the world. The drum is beating. And we're not paying attention. It's getting closer. It's not a joke anymore. Our purpose as elders is to prepare the children. Teach them their language. That language is a powerful tool for connection, to speak to each other. I go to the mall in Omaha. All the children are so Igbo. One can see Igbo. Enjoy hard to do Igbo. And then I ask the parents, why are children not speaking Igbo? I can speak English, but I can speak Igbo too. The children can't even speak their language. And one woman said to me, madam, because I know see her. If I say mama, she gets shocked. Oh, my, look, you think I'm joking? This is real. I took some African Americans home and went to a hotel and they saw all these white pictures. They lost it. One of the members who went there, they lost it. They said, can you hear? You told me to come to Africa. What is this? Say, our people have lost their way. They've lost their conscience. The drums are beating in the background and you are not paying attention. It's time to pay attention. We are the most talented people in the world. We are so talented as a people, but we can't seem to use that talent for the betterment of Africa, for the betterment of our people. We give it away. The best doctors in America. That's creativity. That's knowledge. They're Nigerians. The best engineers. That's creativity. That's knowledge. They're in America. Or they're in England. The best of the best are all outside Nigeria. And somehow in Africa, somehow we think that the African continent is going to take care of itself. Stand up, for God's sake. It's time for us to move away from lack. It's time to move away from lack. It's time for us to take responsibility. Use the talent that Chineke gave us and use that to rebuild Africa. It's time to come to the table. It's time for us to start listening to each other. It's time for us to have faith in ourselves. It's time for us to use that faith to sit at the table and conjure up what we must do. My brothers and sisters, the drums are beating in the background. You're not paying attention. And there are some people who still don't want to pay attention. If you want to tell them what's good for them, no. Because you're abdicating your responsibility. That's why you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear. You would rather hear it from somebody else than from your own. You would rather give to somebody else than your own. We have to start having faith in our ability to create an environment that our young people will be interested in going back to. We have the responsibility to create an environment that the world can be proud of. Not an environment where everybody comes and solves our problems and then takes a little bit of us, little bit at a time. We must have faith in our Chineke. We must have faith in our source of inspiration in whatever language you use in Africa to call upon Chineke. The Indians, they too were colonized. India was colonized. The Chinese were colonized. Is Africa the only one that was colonized? No. We don't have our confidence. We don't have our faith. We don't have trust. I'm keeping it real. If the shoe fits, put it on, honey, because it's time to step. It's time for us to work. We got work to do. And it is not enough to preach about some savior somewhere coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. You are the savior you're looking for. You may not accept what I have to say. That's okay. It don't matter to me. I've said what I need to say. Because God is walking, talking to me. And he's talking to you too. If you will listen inwardly, you will hear Chineke telling you, yes, you can. Do what you must do. The time is now. We don't have time anymore to waste, wishing, hoping. All the other nations of the world are using their culture. As a matter of fact, the World Health Organization and other world organizations have made it clear the reason why Africa is poor. Africa chooses to be poor. We choose to be poor. You know why? Because we reject the very thing that can make us powerful, the very thing that Chineke gave us. And that is our culture. You can use that to attract. Instead, we allow people to tell us it's blasphemy, and we burn it. We burn everything that belongs to us. And somehow we think we're going to get better. No, you're not. No, we're not. The only way that we will get better is if we come to the table and start talking. It is time for us to wash our hands so we can dine with the elders. It is time for us to listen inwardly. Listen to the God inside of you, waiting for you to unleash the power. Stop waiting for manna from heaven. It's not coming. It's not coming because it's in you. You have to open the door, open your mind and let it out. And use the power that you've got to help humanity, to help your people. We will always struggle. Oh yes, you bet on that. We will always struggle as a people because we haven't learned what the rest of the world has learned. That the power lies in you, your community, and when you decide to harness it, look out. Evolution. I'm not here to condemn anybody else. It's a global world. I say anybody who wants to come into our space, come with the objective to help us. You know, we've got people coming to Nigeria. They're taking land. They're bringing their people from another country. They do not hire our people. They don't hire our engineers. They don't hire our doctors. They don't hire anything. They bring their own. But we give them land. And then when we go to their country, look at what they're doing to us in China. Oh, come on, please. You can't blame the Chinese. If you're not I'm not sure what you were looking for when you went there. Okay, fine. So you're there. And we are hearing it every day that our people are being abused. Nobody's doing anything about that. You can't expect your government. Your government is, they've been taking money from the foreign countries. So they're compromised. You are the government. Take charge. Teach our children how to take over Africa. And welcome Africans from diaspora. Somebody said something about 1.5. Think about this. 1.5 million Chinese people in South Africa. How many Africans from diaspora could come in there? They have the economic opulence. They have the technological know-how. They can do just as well as the Chinese or whomsoever we're bringing in there. But we don't have them there. We have people who insult us, people who beat our people, kick them, spit on them, have museums set up to look at us and compare us to animals. You know what that is? The lion has given birth to the lamb. It's not supposed to be that way. Amen. You guys are the lions. And you're acting like lambs. Yeah, if I insult you, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You are supposed to protect your community. You're not doing that. You're giving it all away. You're giving your children to the lions because you're the lamb. You need to regain your confidence, become the man of Africa again. You want me to respect you, boy? You better respect yourself, man. Forgive me for using the word boy. That was a mistake. Or is it? Because a man will not tolerate anybody coming on his shores and taking his property and miseducating his children. Chineke said that it is our responsibility to take care of our children and our community. What Chiism is saying is that There's nothing that the eye sees and bleeds. All the cultures have seen it all. Their eyes have not bled. They saw the problem, they tackled it. Africans, we're going to continue this conversation. There's so much that we have to talk about. But I want to tell you this. Please, we want to feed 800 Nigerians. We want to feed 800 Nigerians every month. I want to thank all those who have donated right now. If you're interested in helping, please message us. Don't tell me about your religion. Please don't. I'm not interested. Don't tell me about what your God will do. Tell me what you're going to do, because God is in you. Don't tell me your religion. Show me your religion. I want you to help. We, Chiism, in collaboration with Global Faith Ministry of Chiism, in collaboration with the African Women Economic Consortium, in collaboration with Jindea Movie Studios, in collaboration with United Success Network, in collaboration with Hamba Kitchen, we are going to be feeding 800 people every single day. And we can increase it because our people are starving. All his Chineke Sikaime, all Honanya, Onyinye, that is our project. If you're interested, we ask you to please support our program. Let's put the money where our mouth is. Next week, we are going to continue this conversation on Sunday. I want you to ask questions. Send me some questions that we can answer. I do realize for a lot of you, this is new. But it's not really new. It's the oldest religion, quite frankly. But some of you have not, all your lives, you have not heard anything about African spirituality. There are different kinds. So I'm not here to tell you we have exclusive truth. That this is what works for us. Because this is what controls our behavior. This is what makes us be interested in people. Respect men, respect women, respect animals, respect the air, respect the water, respect thunder, lightning, Amadioha, Allah, Imomiri, Okuroche, all those aspects of nature that Chineke has given us to help us. Yes, we honor them. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I call it self-esteem. I call it courage. And I call it determination to make a change. Time out for talk. It's time out. It's time for work. Next Sunday, same time. If you had a problem earlier logging in and we don't know what happened, I'm going to contact Facebook and see what happened, because it was booked for to go live at 10. But there was some kind of snag. But I encourage you to please join us next Sunday at 10 a.m. and we will continue this conversation. Kuzo unu niile buru ihe. Ka ihe ọbụla unu chọrọ ime, ka ọ bụrụ sọ mma. Ka ụwa niile site n'aka unu were hụ ihe. Site ugbu a ruo mgbe niile ebighị ebi. Ise, ọfọ, ya gazie. And so it is. Let every way of your lives be light, and all your acts be crowned with good. And may the world prosper by this ministry, Chiism, so that we all can come together, realize that we must work in unity, we must increase our self-determination, we must engage in collective work and responsibility. It is our responsibility to shop with each other, cooperative economics, and we must reassess our purpose to make the world a better place for our young people who will now be responsible for keeping Africa moving forward. That is our purpose. And most importantly, let's begin the process of having faith in ourselves and confidence in our community and everything African. And so it is. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to next week, where we're also going to give you the link to our Facebook, our YouTube channel, and we encourage you to subscribe. And if you have any questions, anything that you didn't hear today, you would have loved to hear, we only have just so much time. From 5 minutes, I've gone over by, no, I still have about 5 minutes. If you have any questions that you want to ask, please feel free to ask it. If you don't ask it now, put it together for next time. We are going to continue to have this conversation. My DB Otraja, Judy Onyoha, was supposed to be on this, but because of this whole unfortunate situation with us all being, separated from each other, he could not be here. But he's on Facebook right now, and whatever questions that I didn't answer, and if you ask it, he's gonna answer it. Love you all. Anye bumwane, anye ncha bumwane. That is what Chineke wants us. After what your religion, we are one, and we must become one, and so it is. Yagazie. Thank you, everyone.